The year 2022 has really been a good year for features. When I mean features, I mean smartphone features. Now, we've had many phones coming out with a lot of amazing features such as Samsung, iPhone, Redmi, Huawei, Oppo, and the rest of them. But today, I'm going to share with you my top 6 best smartphone features of the year 2022. First of all, I will start with the Asus ROG Phone 6 Pro. Now, this is an amazing phone. It is a gaming phone, as the name goes, ROG, Republic of Game. So, it comes with 18 gigs of RAM, and that should tell you that this is a really great gaming phone. Now, what is the capturing feature of the Asus ROG Phone 6 Pro? This phone has a rear mounted, I don't know, will I call this screen or whatever, a rear mounted display that advertises things that you can customize. You can be able to customize the screen at the back. To some people, this feature is not really cool, but to me, I think this is a very cool feature because when you just go out there, you can just show off your phone to your friends and be like, have you seen this before? Come check this out, come check this out. And I think it's a plus. And this phone also comes with side gaming buttons. Now, you know, other phone comes with game modes, like to enhance the gaming mode, but this phone doesn't just come with a game mode. It also comes with buttons on the frame of the phone, which you can be able to use as a gaming sensor. It looks almost like a pad, but it's not really a pad. But I think this is a very cool feature. Another feature that this phone carries, which I really like, is that it comes with a game pad in the box of the phone. So you can connect this game pad to the back of the phone and you'll be able to get a smooth gaming experience on this phone. The second phone I want to talk about is the Nothing Phone 1. Now, this was a company that just came up this year 2022, and a company like this that just came out with their first phone being a mind-blowing mid-range smartphone is what captures me most. And not just that, it's one of the best mid-range smartphones of the year 2022. It has one of the greatest features that even flagship devices on the Samsung and the iPhone doesn't even have. Now, what is this feature? I think the multi-lighting feature on this phone is the best of 2022. Now, if you look at the back of this device, it has a multi-lighting system around the cameras and some parts of the phone, in the middle of the phone, and all that. Now, what does this multi-lighting system do? It does 4 major things. Number 1, it can customize it for you to know the person that's calling you. Like if you have a boy on your contacts, like BC, you can actually use that light sensor, customize it for BC in your contact. So when BC calls you, it has a separate lighting system that without you even turning the front of your phone, you can know that it's BC that's calling me. The number 2 thing that this multi-lighting system does is that it allows you to take great pictures in night when you don't want to use the flashlight. You can just on the light around the phone and then you can be able to use it to take close-up pictures. Really, really cool at night. The third thing is that you can be able to know how many battery you have. Like when you plug in your charger, it just indicates at the bottom side of the phone that your phone is at this percent, and which I think is very, very cool. And the last one is, as you all know, for notifications. Like when a notification comes in, it just beeps around and has that cool experience. Now, anyone that gets this phone, I think, to me, even though it does not have the best system update or whatever out there, but I think this is a really show-off phone. Just imagine you going out with this type of phone and showing it to your friends. They're going to be like crazy cool. The third phone I want to talk about is the regular iPhone 14 Pro Max and iPhone 14 Pro. Now, when these phones came out, it was like the future has come into the present. But I mean, just looking at this phone, it has 2 major things that really caught my attention when this phone came out. Number 1 I'll be talking about is the AI flash sensor. Now, other phones on the market have a flashlight used for taking nighttime photos and all that. But what the iPhone brought into this aspect this year was that they put this AI sort of thing into the flashlight so that when you're taking pictures, especially at night, it doesn't spill out too much light tends to over brighten your image. Like when you want to take close-up picture with the flashlight, it just reduces the amount of light that the flash is going to spill out, and still tend to keep that warm look on, like the other phones like Samsung and other, which just over brightens everything and could spoil your image. And when you also take the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max far away to take a far shot, it exposes more of the light so that you'll be able to see what you're capturing in far distance, and you still have that warm and normal look, which is very, very awesome to me. And also the one that makes everyone go crazy, the dynamic island. Now this was where iPhone was like, they changed everything in the phone arenas. So what does this dynamic island do? It is a feature of the Apple iOS 16, and not just that iPhone put this dynamic island here, but they put a sort of animation like stuff in the iOS 16, which gives the dynamic island a more sweet and suitable experience. Now talking about dynamic island, they made this display of this phone 2000 nits bright, like the brightest in the market. So it gives the dynamic island a more flashy look, a more colorful look. And this dynamic island also helps you to multitask. Maybe that's why they put it in the iPhone, because a lot of people have been complaining that iPhone does not have a multitasking option and all that. But now with the dynamic island, you can be able to multitask. When you do things like playing music and remove it in the background, the thing just goes straight to the dynamic island, and sort of animation stuff goes on there. When someone calls you, when you turn on your iPhone from ringer off to silence, and from silent to ringer on, all of that just as animation takes place on the dynamic island, and which is very, very cool. When you're also using video on the iPhone, you also see sort of green stuff. I think that will be the GPS sensor on the dynamic island, which is absolutely cool. And another interesting thing about the dynamic island is that you can do more than two things at the same time, which makes the dynamic island split out. Now what am I saying? You can be playing music and when you remove it from the background, you go and set a timer, and when you remove the timer and keep it on the background, everything goes to the dynamic island. So when your music is playing, it's on the dynamic island already. Then when you remove the timer, it now goes to the dynamic island, and the dynamic island now splits up into something that looks like an eye shape, which is very, very cool. And you can be able to switch in between them, like tapping on the separate one for the clock and switching to the other one, tapping on the real dynamic island, switch back to your music. The first phone I'm talking about today is the Google Pixel 7 and Pixel 7 Pro. Now when these phones came out, we were thinking that it would be like normal Google phones, but Google shocked us this time. It was the best smartphone. If you watch Mr. Wiz the Boss, he has released a very interesting video of the best smartphone of the year, and that phone carried 2 awards, like 2 amazing awards. So when I'm talking about the Google Pixel 7 and Pixel 7 Pro, they are the best smartphone ever. Okay, they have many features that really make them stand out as the best smartphone, but I think I'm just going to pick either 1 or 2 in this video because I'm trying to keep it as short as possible. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the voice dictation and detection of voice. You have your Google assistants, which you can talk to search for stuff like that. Google being Google not just make this available on their smartphone, they also improved it, and being that this is the first phone that came out with an Android 13, it is awesome. Like, you can be talking, no matter how fast you talk to the Google Pixel 7 and Pixel 7 Pro, it just captures every of your word without missing a single slip of tongue. Even though you slip your tongue, it corrects it for you. So this feature on here is a mind-blowing feature. Why do I say it's a mind-blowing feature? I know some people say that I already have it on my Samsung, I already have it on my Android phone, so what's the need? But I assure you, this will change the way you do things. It's not like you can only do it when Google searching. You can also use it in your sound recording mode, not like just normal, but you can record your voice, and then while recording your voice, you can be seeing the written versions of it by the side, which is absolutely crazy. It can also be applied on Instagram right from the feature on the phone, not the one on Instagram directly by owning the subtitle and whatever. But you can turn it on from the Pixel UI on your Google Pixel 7, which will help you to automatically translate anything you watch on whether Instagram, YouTube, or anything into subtitles, which is really awesome. Another phone that really blew my mind up when it came out is the Tecno Phantom X2 Pro. Now, everybody might be thinking that what is Tecno looking for where the iPhone and the goggles are, but this is not really a sweet feature to many people because we have really seen a lot of pop-ups cameras, and like on the Tecno Camera 15, the Oppo Reno 2, the Redmi K15 and other phones like that, but this one is just a more rebranded version of those types. So what am I talking about? When you want to take portraits with the Tecno Phantom X2 Pro, the 50 megapixel main lens, that what we used to take portraits, pops out. And not that it pops out like those ones that come out from the top of the phone. It comes out from its framing, which is very, very cool. I mean, some people might not be interested in this, but for me, I think this is a very good feature because other phones that have done this, they are all these high phones. So for Tecno to come to this point and do such a thing, I think this is a stepping up point for Tecno. The last phone for today is the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4. Yeah, Samsung is finally here. I know many of you that have been waiting for Samsung, but now it's finally here. I didn't put the S22 Ultra here because that phone is not like it doesn't have any amazing feature, but I think I still prefer the feature on the Z Flip 4 to what you get on the S22 Ultra. So what am I trying to say with the Z Flip 4? This phone has a rear mounted screen which you can be able to use when it's in flip mode. Yeah, when it's in flip mode, you can be able to look at some types of notifications. You can be able to on your flashlight from there. You can use it to take a selfie, like selfie from your back camera and other amazing stuff like that. The rear screen on the Z Flip 4 is really useful to people who actually would get this phone, because when you're outside and you don't, because the phone is a very long phone and a very weighty phone, so you don't really want to stretch out a 7-inch phone like that outside so someone can just snatch it from your hand. So you can use it in flip mode and you can check your time, you can check some of your daily routines, you can use it to keep appointments and some stuff like that, some really cool stuff like that. You can also be able to do some other manipulations, like you can turn on your flashlight from there, you can on your Bluetooth, you can activate Wi-Fi, you can check time, you can check dates and some stuff like that. So I think the rear mounted screen on the Z Flip 4 is the best. So out of everything, guys, the phone I will still pick that really blew my mind is the Nothing Phone 1. This phone is just a phone that makes me go crazy anytime I see it, because they just came out this year, and the Nothing Phone 1 being their first phone that has this craziest feature that even the iPhone and the Samsungs don't have, is still the peak. If you enjoyed this video, ensure to smash that like button, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell icon so that you'll be notified on other uploads that comes up like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.